like that.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. We're emotional people.
I'm like, these, you say, who were the Nazi guards? Who were the fucking slave catchers tracking down slaves?
Yeah, I wouldn't compare it to that at all.
Man, when you're ripping,
it's got to start somewhere.
You're ripping mothers away from their kids.
I think you do a disservice to what Jews experienced during Nazi Germany.
In this video, we're back with Andrew Schulz and Charlamagne on their podcast, Brilliant Idiots. Andrew Schulz and Charlamagne discuss the plane gifted by Qatar, as well as how Donald Trump's presidency is going thus far. With that, let's watch Andrew Schulz school Charlamagne on how much winning Trump has been doing.
Everything that you're saying is 100% legitimate criticism, right?
Yes, but the U.S. Constitution prohibits government officials from accepting gifts from any king, prince, or foreign state.
I believe. So what, and then the pushback that you're going to get from anybody that is defensive of it is he's removed the veil, meaning this is what all presidents, right and left, have done.
Right. The Clinton Foundation does the same thing.
So the Clinton Foundation, when Hillary is the Secretary of State or something like that, I forget what it was, they were getting donations to the tune of like $50 million a year. I think
go back to doing it sneakily.
Well, or 250. The second she stops being Secretary of State, they shut down the foundation. So some people go, oh, this was just a vessel to, get influence within the administration. And what people say is in the back, or back in the day, they did it sneakily. And what Trump is doing, he's doing it in your face. Like, for example, Nancy Pelosi trades with insider information for decades. We all criticize it. We say it's wrong. Trump goes, yo, Monday's going to be a crazy day. I'd buy some stocks if I were you. People go, how is he doing this? Is insider trading. There are a lot of people, I imagine, on Trump's side that go, well, finally, he's letting us get in on it. Before, it was just Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. Now he's letting everybody get a fair shake. What I think the best criticism is none of it should happen. You shouldn't accept the plane. Nancy shouldn't get insider trading. What we're doing is unconstitutional.
Trump's is a little different, but yes. And look, you can say...
Why do you think Trump's a little different?
Because she's using inside information that she has that's not available to the public to get these great tips or deals. He's manipulating the entire fucking market. To get what he wants. It's a bigger play. I mean,
I wouldn't say he's manipulating the market. What I would say is in this Trump coin is that he's creating a vehicle.
No, I'm not talking just about that. I'm talking about it all. But like, I mean, look, you could say.
I guess I'm sorry to interrupt, but like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, this is a great opportunity for us to reform the way people in positions of political power, right and left, are able to accept like legal bribes. And if we make it a partisan issue, then we'll just have bickering from the left and the right about, but your side does it, but your side does it. When instead we should all just go, yo, both sides do it.
Agree, but this is a guy whose biggest campaign platform. You just got a boner
for Trump, bro. It's like he's doing the same shit they all do, bro.
I understand if I were on the other side, I'd be complaining about Qatar gifting a jet. However, the country is receiving the gift, not Donald Trump. It's not some behind closed door deal like everything else is in government. If he thought it was like some criminal thing he was doing, why would he tell everyone he's doing it? So I just don't think the whole thing about accepting gifts, I don't think he's accepting a gift. I think he's accepting a gift on behalf of the country to use, a very generous gift. Here's another reason that I just do not care about this. It seems to me like we fund the entire world for everything. God forbid one time someone gives us a gift worth $400 million and we say thank you. Is that crazy? Because all we ever get is complaints from the rest of the world when all we do is pay all the bills. So I think we need to stop paying other people's bills and then they won't want to give us gifts. Win-win, right? And by the way, saying it's a good time to buy to the entire planet, announcing it is maybe the opposite of insider trading. You're telling everyone. And this dipshit saying he's manipulating the markets. Wall Street has been pissed at him about his tariffs. So this guy, maybe I'm wrong, but the guy off camera is probably going to say he's trying to get his rich friends rich or something like that. Wall Street's one of the major groups that has been pushing against him on the tariffs because of the uncertainty it's caused in the markets. So I believe Donald Trump's doing everything that he's doing in the best interest of the future of the United States. Let's get back to the video.
Hold on a second. Hold on. He ran on draining the swamp.
Yes.
That's his biggest fucking platform.
Is true.
Drain the swamp. He's adding acres to the swamp. He's importing alligators. He's doing whatever the fuck. I mean, this is the biggest swamp you've ever seen.
I would disagree because I think that I would disagree on what the swamp is.
So what is the swamp?
The swamp is Diddy's chest after a night.
I knew you were gonna say something like that.
We shoot, baby.
I guess the idea. I thought the swamp was like permanent government. I thought the swamp were these people that were the quote unquote deep state, like the people that were making decisions without the behest of the American people. But that's
being
what I thought
funded
the
by
swamp
corporate entities. And the corporate money
maybe,
that you
yeah.
can't see.
So technically, they're the biggest swamp.
He's basically
they're not listening to Congress.
He got rid of the swamp and he goes, "It's just me now." So if you want,
exactly.
which
Right.
we should also disagree with.
Yes, they're not listening. They're not listening to Congress.
Yeah.
They're not following the Constitution. They are the swamp.
But I think, unfortunately, people like, and I'm not saying that you're wrong to have these feelings. I think a lot of people have these feelings, but they have such a hard on for Trump that they don't just go, hey, the system itself needs reform. And we should use this as an example, along with examples that past Republicans and Democrats have done to reform it all.
I want that, but I also just simply want an elected official who follows the Constitution.
Right.
By the way, clearly you can do corruption in the guidelines of the Constitution.
Unfortunately,
we've been seeing people do that forever. But this is a person that's just saying fuck the Constitution. I don't want to turn on my Sunday morning news and see a president say he doesn't know if he has to uphold the Constitution. Yeah, I should.
Even given those numbers that you're talking about, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as
I
president?
don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said. What you said is not what I heard the Supreme Court said. They have a different interpretation.
Or suspend habeas, whatchamacallit?
habeas corpus.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is the thing about, and I don't want to seem like I'm defending because habeas corpus it's basically the right to hold somebody without charging them,
Right.
which unfortunately throughout American history, we have done. FDR did it with the internment camps during World War II. Lincoln did it during the Civil War. It's
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
it is like fundamental. Upholding habeas corpus is fundamental to the American identity. We cannot hold you without charging with you. Once we do that, it's a tyrannical dictatorship. So I 100% agree with that. To say that he's doing something that is novel or threatening potentially to do something that's novel or different than past presidents that we look at as heroes, as American icons, I would
the
say
internment
is
camps
unfair.
are definitely a stain.
Pardon?
The internment camps, not at the time they were accepted. We look back now and realize that was outrageous. And it was a money grab. All this shit is a fucking money grab.
What, the internment camps are a money grab?
Yeah, man. The Japanese controlled the most fertile parts of California. All the places where we grow most of our crops now, those were owned by Japanese farmers.
I thought the most fertile parts of California were Mexican women.
Well,
so yeah, I don't know if it was only a money grab. I think that there was like legitimate concerns about. Legitimate is a tough thing. I don't think they did it the right way, but I think there were concerns about Japanese espionage.
sure.
Just like
and there was
concerns
Japanese,
about,
but
yeah.
I mean, but that's all this stuff, right? I mean, look, I don't know. Did you guys watch the video of the mother being arrested this weekend in Massachusetts, and her daughters are trying to stop the ICE agents?
Which one? I've seen so many different videos.
Look, I know immigration is a problem. I'm not for a second saying we don't have to address that, but when you see stuff,
This guy off camera is a perfect example of things that frustrate me about Democrats. He's about to talk about some mom that was pulled away from her children. Sorry, dude. I voted for Donald Trump to deport all the illegal immigrants in this country. You just said you know that illegal immigration's a problem. Great. You're falling for the Democrat playbook of putting a couple stories out there that tug on your heartstrings and make ICE look like the big mean people. And you suddenly forget that this mother that you're so upset about broke the law by coming into our country, and her kids can go with her when they're deported. I don't care, man. It's not that I'm not empathetic. I'm sure they have hard lives, but Joe Biden's administration created a crisis. I genuinely do believe it's an invasion, and I believe the Alien Enemies Act does apply, even though I don't think the Supreme Court agrees with me. But everything this guy's saying, like he didn't drain the swamp, it's all a money grab. What money grabs has Trump made? What are you talking about? He doesn't take a presidential salary. He's the only president in history after his first term to come out less wealthy than he went in. This guy is acting like Trump's a monster. He has true Trump derangement syndrome. It's so stupid. Anyway, let's wrap up.
Like that.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. We're emotional
I'm
people.
like, these, you say, who were the Nazi guards? Who were the fucking slave catchers tracking down slaves?
Yeah, I wouldn't compare it to that at all.
Man, when you're ripping,
It's got to start somewhere.
you're ripping mothers away from their kids.
I think you do a disservice to what Jews experienced during Nazi
saying
Germany.
that as a Jew.
And I think you're like half. And then I think
half of me says it. Then.
I think that you're doing a disservice to what slaves experienced.
But
during
what
slavery.
Char says is true. It didn't. Yes, the first day in 1938 or whatever, it looked like this.
Yeah.
And then not enough people said stuff, and it escalated and escalated and escalated, and then you got where you're going.
I saw a mom who took her two sons who had been going through the process of getting their papers, and they were going to the regular, I guess, check-ins or whatever that they have to do.
Yeah.
Snatched the two sons up.
Yeah. Listen,
we got to do something, but we have the money to do it a different way. Is what I'm saying.
Yes, it is heartbreaking. There's no question it is heartbreaking. You could make the argument, or they would make the argument, that these people are here illegally. They're breaking the law being here, whereas simply being Jewish in Germany in the late 1930s.
Yeah, that's a real comparison. The Holocaust and Japanese internment camps and deporting people that are here illegal in our country. Yeah, that's going to serve you well, that comparison, buddy. But we want to hear from you. What do you guys think about this conversation between Andrew Schulz and Charlamagne and this left-wing wacko off camera? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.